up, people? This is your boy Main Event Primetime TV here. Now I want to talk about the A.J. Brown situation and A.J. Brown trade. Now, Mr. Arthur DeJuan Brown got traded to the New England Patriots for a first rounder and a fifth rounder. I think the first rounder is for 2027 and the fifth rounder, no. The, the fifth rounder is for um 2027. I think the first rounder is 2028. Y'all can all look this up. I encourage y'all to look up most of the things I'm saying, so y'all either correct me or like we can like have engagement. But I want to talk about this AJ Brown situation. So AJ Brown got traded to New England Patriots, and as a person from Philadelphia, I want to thank him for the stuff that he did here. He was an amazing athlete. Most of the stuff he did was like he's basically a modern TO, and I guess like his off-field behavior is modern TO-ish, but like he had the athleticism of like TO. It was like as a person that like known about Terrell Owens and like he played for the Eagles, he also played for the Cowboys in that situation. AJ Brown was closest to that, and I look at this situation similar to how I seen that situation in the mid 2000s when the Eagles traded Terrell Owens to the Cowboys. Now, basically, the Patriots are like a rival to the Eagles. They played to each other 2 times in the Super Bowl. The Boston and Philly rivalry, Sixers versus Celtics, Flyers versus Bruins. When sometimes the Phillies play the Red Sox. I mean, Philly and Boston don't like each other. Like they dang near like they're similar and like as fans, and that's where AJ Brown is going. And you also have Patriots fans criticizing this trade too, not because of the trade itself, is because like why would AJ Brown leave a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that's a contender like the Patriots, and why is he frustrated? I could see if it was like the Cleveland Browns. I will get to the Myles Garrett first trade discussion. But why would AJ Brown leave a contender like the Eagles? That don't make sense. I mean, it makes sense because he grew up as a Patriots fan and he wanted to go there. But like, that doesn't matter. There's so many players in the league that grew up with teams. I mean, Patrick Mahomes grew up as a Cowboys fan. You don't see him demanding trades to go to the Cowboys. And there, like he went to the Patriots. And it's like, let's go on with the video.
Executed a trade for wide
I'm gonna
receiver
turn on this
AJ
fan
Brown,
too. It's getting
sending
hot.
Philly a 2028 first and a 2027 fifth in return.
If y'all hear a fan in the back, if y'all hear a fan in the background, it's Philadelphia. It's hot and it's the summertime. So if y'all hear stuff in the background, it's the fan. It's hot.
Taylor sat down with Brown to ask about the lessons he learned during his time with the Eagles.
By the way, Maria Taylor, she used to work for ESPN, and especially during the pandemic, there was a situation with her and Rachel Nichols. With her and Rachel Nichols got into a situation, especially when the NBA was in the bubble, and it's like, I mean, I remember the situation, but I forgot the details of it. But it was basically some female drama, reality show drama with that situation.
Lesson, but the main lesson that I always revert back to: telling the truth out of season is worse than a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And not everything needs to be said, even if I feel like it's best. Mm-hmm. Even if I was voted captain, 3 times in a row, but still, telling the truth out of season is worse than a lie. Mm-hmm. So I learned that.
Okay, so a little philosophical there from A.J. Brown. Let's do some reading between the lines here, Peter. How do you interpret what he's talking about with telling the truth is better than a lie as it relates to his Eagles tenure?
That he was outspoken and showed his discontent with an offense that he was
Well, he was outspoken, especially with that one situation where Nick Sirianni in that one playoff game. Now looking back at it, it all makes sense. Like he basically I won't say he quit on the Eagles, but like this is what he wanted. Like he wanted to be a Patriot. Like he had his time here with the Eagles, was dang near 5 years. Um, Offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator, and now the Patriots are good again, and now he wants to go back with the Patriots. And hey, like that's like Peter Strzegor said, that's what he wanted. Like you can't keep a person like AJ Brown, and it'll eventually be toxic. It was already toxic. And by the way, my allergies is bothering me, man. I swear I hate the summertime. I'm sorry. It's the worst time of the year. I'm not trying. I don't want to vent about the summer, but the summertime is the worst time of the year with allergies, um, heatness. You get sick. You get hot. I mean, it's like it's ridiculous. But yeah, it just going back to AJ Brown. AJ Brown, man, like you can't blame. It's like I'm gonna go back to Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes, he grew up as a Cowboys fan. He grew up in Texas. You don't see him complaining to you don't see him complaining to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs and the Cowboys have a connection, especially with them being both Dallas-based teams. The Chiefs started as a Dallas team when they was in the AFL. Then they moved to Kansas City with I forgot his name. Lamar Hunt. He was a Dallas businessman, and he moved the Chiefs to the Kansas City, and then they named themselves the Chiefs. They were originally the Dallas Texans, but like the Chiefs could have pulled off something there with the Cowboys and give the Cowboys something. Gave him Patrick Mahomes, and like I said, like they can I don't know, get Dak Prescott, get a couple draft picks, get another player or two. Like hypothetically, like if we're going by that logic, it's like Jalen Hurts. He also grew up as a Cowboys fan. You don't see him bitching and crying. Excuse my language. Wanting to go to the Cowboys. I think Devontae Smith. He grew up as a Saints fan or something. You don't see him bitching. Oh, he could be. He could have cheered for somebody else, but you don't see him bitching and crying wanting to go to the Saints. Like, there's so many players that grew up watching teams, like Tom Brady during his career. You don't see him bitching and crying, I want to go to the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers, like Mr. freaking immunized with the vaccine. You don't see him bitching and crying, I want to go to San Francisco while he was winning MVPs in Green Bay or winning the Super Bowl in the early 2010s with Green Bay. This man was in I'm not venting because he left the Eagles. I'm venting because you are in a successful team, a winning team. I could see if this was the Cleveland Browns. I could see if this was the Arizona Cardinals. I could see if this was the Jacksonville Jaguars, teams that don't have much success. But you was in a contending team, and you're going to go to another contending team because you didn't like the other contending team, and you're going to a worse situation. And Mike Vrabel, who is fucking reporters. He's fucking reporters. This man, Mike Vrabel, is having sex with reporters. And you want to go to that team? That's ridiculous. It's like, I don't care if Nick Sirianni is a goofball, he can't coach, he can't do this, but at least he's not fucking reporters. Imagine if you hear a story about Nick Sirianni fucking, let me think, Kay Adams or something. That would be insane. That would be a crazy story. Nick Sirianni having sex with Kay Adams. Like, what is that? You want to go to that? It is what it is.
Been feeling discontent with. It wasn't what it should have been, and I think he said things on social media, on Twitter.
Yeah, why is Stephen A. Smith pointing? I guess he's feeling himself because the Knicks they're winning.
Front office wanted him to do. They would much rather him do. So when he says, speaking out,
we are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, go. Like, and they're gonna compare Eagles fans with the Knicks fans. Don't compare Philly to New York, please. Don't do that.
They worse than
Don't be
just
that person. I'm
telling a lie. I think
going
he's
with
saying,
the video.
if hindsight, he could have kept it quiet, and this still might have been the outcome, and he could have been fine and not necessarily tarnished his reputation. But I will tell you this: this is the best 4-year run we have ever seen from an Eagles wide receiver. This is a guy who just 18 months ago the Eagles gave more guaranteed
And
money.
he's gonna fuck all that up. He's gonna probably go into a worse situation. And I think the Patriots might regress this year. I do still have them going to the playoffs, but I think they might regress. Regress somewhat, especially with this Mike Vrabel situation, man. They're gonna probably have some heavy hitting losses in the season.
Wide receiver in the history of the game. They gave it to A.J. Brown. And he's right. He wore a Captain C on his jersey 3 years in a row. He was outspoken, and now he gets to go to New England, a place where he wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to go there. He wanted to go to an owner who has sexual relations. Y'all talk about y'all Caucasians. I ain't talking about all of y'all. Y'all always like to talk about Deshaun Watson. But Robert Kraft is basically in the same situation. I don't get it with these NFL players, executives, coaches, whatever, with massage people. Because Robert Kraft, he was in a massage situation in 2019 or whatever. And like AJ Brown, now he's in a massage situation with Hassan Reddick and them having a side piece that was a massage person. I don't get it, man. Like it's like these massage girls gotta have like big booties. They gotta be prime Alexis Texas. They gotta be Gianna Michaels. They gotta be Riley Reid or something. I don't get why these NFL players, these athletes want to fuck these massage girls. I'm sorry for cursing. I'm sorry for being so like this is like my most energetic video since coming back because like this situation is just so weird. Like I remember making a video many months ago about this situation. I said this wasn't gonna happen, but it did happen. But it's just all these stories is coming out, and it's all weird.
Knowing people in Philly, like they're not doing flips right now. They're not super excited about this right now. In fact, if anything, the Philly brass is kind of bummed that it ended this way. But
I'm not really that bummed. It's like we'll see what Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon. The thing that scares me about the Mekhi Lemon draft, the last time the Eagles drafted a receiver from USC, it was Nelson Aguilar, and that didn't work out well. But I'm not. Well, I mean, to be honest, Mekhi Lemon won the Belindakoff Award. That was like the best receiver. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be Nelson Aguilar. But we'll see. Like, because the Eagles made another trade many months ago with Seattle and them getting Reek Willen. And that also kind of scares me too, knowing when the last time the Eagles got a cornerback from Seattle, and it was I forgot his name, the dude with the long sleeves. His name is skipping my head, but yeah, the last time the Eagles got a cornerback from Seattle, it didn't work out. We'll see how it works. Like lightning don't get struck in twice or whatever the saying goes.
2028 first round pick. But gosh, what a crazy way for this to end for a guy who had.
And they say Jalen Hurts can't throw.
Two of the best performances we've ever seen from an Eagles wide receiver in a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, it was a first round pick in 2028 and a fifth round in 2027. Okay.
Yeah, so there are the terms again of the trade. The Patriots receive A.J. Brown. The Eagles get a 2028 first and a 2027 fifth round pick. D-Wood, as I hear Peter talking about this, I mean, most seasons with 1,000 yards receiving in Eagles history, that's 4. Single season receiving yard leader in 2022. Single season receptions by
He had a tremendous career with the Eagles.
In 2023. It's hard to think that the Eagles get better, like addition by subtraction. Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, as we sit here June 2nd, the Eagles aren't a better offense because of A.J. Brown, trading A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots. And think about all the change that's been surrounding the quarterback in Jalen Hurts. I believe Jalen Hurts is going to be on like his 7th offensive coordinator. Think about that.
That's just
right.
That's not even including in college the change that Jalen Hurts is at. Think how hard it is to overcome all that change. The reason that players are good is because the continuity within the coaching staff, the personnel around them. Jalen Hurts is going to have to overcome another change because this offense is going to be drastically different than what Jalen Hurts has been used to operating under. He's going to be playing under center. He's not going to have an A.J. Brown, who, by the way, just like you talked about, Peter, this guy was a top 4 wide receiver in the game. Like, he went on a 4-year span where he was as good as any wide receiver in the National Football League. And so the offense is going to look different. The play calling, their terminology is going to look different. And guess what? Playing in the Philadelphia market, they don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't care about the excuses. Even with all the excuses out there for Jalen Hurts, he's expected to go out there and play up to a high standard.
Sure. Stephen A., you see on the screen our question here, we're turning the attention now very obviously to Jalen Hurts and how much pressure's on him after this trade happens. How do you see how Jalen Hurts is going to have to approach this 26th season knowing that his number one's no longer there?
He's going to be under immense pressure. And as great as Peter Schrager has been covering the NFL all of these years.
Yeah, of course you're going to kiss people's ass. You always kiss people's ass.
Of a commentator as Woody is.
Especially a particular type of people you like to kiss ass.
We all know on this set right now who's the foremost expert on Philadelphia.
Talk about it.
That would be me. The dude that wrote for the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Oh man, please. I mean, I'm not saying David Smith didn't do nothing here, but like, dude, bro, like, I see how you covered the Sixers and Knicks. That was mid. You was sucking bias as hell, man. Like,
17 years. I covered this team.
And Allen Iverson don't like your ass too. Like, it's like. Shout out to the brother Ticket TV, but I think the reason why he called you Stephen A. Snitch is because of the whole situation with you and Allen Iverson, and y'all fall out.
This my
so no, you're not cool here, bro. You're not.
Let me tell y'all something right
now.
now.
Most people in Philly think you're lame.
Jalen Hurts is going to be under a microscope, and I want to say this about A.J. Brown. And I'm going to say it, it's rare that I say something like that. I'm going to say it on national TV. If nobody else got you... A.J. Brown is on the league!
I want Taylor with Quinn Road! Russell Mustanovich! Peter Stojakovic! I want Taylor for none of them! He is like DeMarcus Russell! He is a bona fide scrum!
Your back, bro. I do. I'm going to say that right here on national television about A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown
is a bona fide scrub.
Yeah, there are things he could have done differently, no doubt about it. People like the addition by subtraction. Well, what happened? A.J. Brown is sitting there playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Before they won the Super Bowl now, he's talking about what needs to be done. And it was being ignored until he spoke up. And then that man went out there and played like a man-child and showed you he was a man amongst boys. Since he came into the league... He is
a man-child. Because if you have a fucking Patriots rug during your time with an NFL team, a Patriot... That's some shit that people that watch do. You're playing in the NFL. You're not supposed to do that. Even for your own team. Like, that's weird. A Patriots man cave rug. Like, seriously? It's like... No. Like, imagine you an A.J. Brown teammate, and you walk in his house, and that's the first thing you see in his room. As a Patriots man, I'm going to question him. And he was the Eagles captain. You don't do that as a captain. As a leader for a team, you don't, like, show allegiances to the other side that you're competing against. That's like if somebody from the Democrat, it's like the Democrats or Republicans, or a Democrat, or even a Republican, whatever, I'm not trying to be political, I'm a Democrat, but I had a Republican rug, or Republican memorabilia. Well, what are you, a Democrat or a Republican? It's like, well, A.J. Brown, are you an Eagle? Are you a Patriot? Like, I get you cheered for them, but that's like if Tom Brady had a 49ers man cave rug too, playing or Steve Montana, which I mean, like, ain't in that none of that in his playing career. You have like something, but you didn't have none of that. He focused on winning, not cheering for the damn 49ers because he didn't give a flying F about the 49ers. He cared about winning. It is what it is.
2019. He's a top 5 receiver in terms of what are you talking about? Yards and touchdown catches, okay? At 56 touchdown catches, okay? You're looking at him right now. Him and
Okay,
Jamar
Stephen A.
Chase,
Smith, you're talking too fast, bro.
NFL two, the only 2 NFL players with at least 1,000 receiving yards and 7+ touchdown catches in each of the past 4 seasons.
AJ Brown, understand? He's on the weed. He needs to be tested on the weed. Roger, I'm saying it right now. He needs to be tested right now. Get
This
him.
is A.J. Brown that we're talking about here. Even after they won the Super Bowl, he said, what's up with the complacency? That was last year. They ain't got nothing to do with this year. Detroit's coming, Chicago's coming, LA's coming, Seattle's coming. You know,
We
anybody.
know those teams coming, man. But like, you as a leader, as a captain, like you supposed to come together with the team, be a leader, and be like, I'm gonna do my thing, and I want y'all to do y'all thing, so we can eat. Doesn't matter the situation. But what AJ Brown did, is he crashed his way out of the Philly by acting like an asshole. And as an asshole, you get asshole things. Now you're gonna go to an asshole team like New England, a team that has a head coach that's fucking reporters. You have an owner that's fucking masseuses. You have a whole city that's known to have racists. You're going to a place that's gonna be more miserable than Philly. Boston has a horrid history. Let's be honest and real. This is Bill Russell, before he died, God rest his soul, didn't want to step into Boston no more because they're so racist. Your name tree, he called the Boston Bruins the boys club. Don't even get me, freaking Red Sox, they have their issues. They hired freaking, what's the name? From the Astros, the team that's the cheaters. Boston is a weird, wicked city. Yes, they have championships, but they're weird and wicked. The Ime Udoka situation, like so many of these controversies. Like it's not even funny in that city. It's really ain't.
Now he's pointing all this stuff out. He's like, what are we doing? Okay?
Like AJ Brown, as a dark-skinned brother, and I'm not trying to make this about race. You're going to a racist city. Now I know Philadelphia has its problems, but Boston, if as soon as you be a main factor of losing a game, they're gonna turn on you. Patriots fans, they will welcome you an arm, but they're also gonna turn on you worse than Philly fans.
Changing bodies, the change in personnel, the change in offensive coordinators. He's like, what are we doing here? You paying me $32 million a year? Put it on my shoulders. Now he didn't help himself when he dropped a couple of catches against San Francisco and the players. He didn't help himself with cryptic tweets. He didn't help himself.
Oh yeah, you got biblical tweets too. I'm a man of the Most High. I might not consider myself a Christian. That's another topic for another day. But you're using the Bible to crash out and want to get out team, you're making a toxic situation to even it be even more toxic by using the Bible. Like, come on, bro, you gotta be better than that.
And reading scripture or whatever the hell he was reading.
Oh, you don't know Stephen A. Smith, you bootleg. You don't care about the scriptures, so whatever.
You've got a situation where the CEO, Jeffrey Lurie, got to come and talk to him literally on the sideline.
Do.
And implore him to keep stuff private. I got that part. But he was honest, Joe.
Well, I mean, Jeffrey Lurie believes in the Torah, or I mean, really what the Jews believe in. I think, what's it called? The Talmud. I think one of those books is like Jewish mysticism. Like, and most of the Jewish higher ups, they believe in, like, especially in this society, they believe, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them believe in all that Jewish mysticism stuff. That's how they get into power, allegedly. Yeah, like, they believe in all that, like, the Kabbalah and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm going to do a video on stuff like that, not on YouTube, but on a different website in the future.
Lying about anything. Which brings us back to Jalen Hurts and what the real issue is.
And by the way, Stephen A. Smith is in Omega Sci-Fi too.
When we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. Peter, you've been covering the NFL for a long time.
Divine Nine.
Woody, champion, commentator as well. You know this.
Don't even get me started with Disney. Please don't get me started with Disney. And they tides and all the stuff that they did.
You tell me the all-world receiver that's going through all of this if they completely believe in their quarterback. Tell me who that person is. Tell me an all-world receiver. Because remember, it don't matter how great you are, you can't throw it to yourself. So when you got an all-world quarterback, a guy that you have complete confidence in, the last person in the world you aim any negative attention at is that man right there, because he's going to decide how you're going to get paid. He's going to decide what your value is, because he's going to decide whether you're going to get that football.
Keep in mind, AJ Brown is Jalen Hurts. They have one of them have children. I think AJ Brown and that's his god. That's AJ Brown's son's godfather, by the way. It's just it's so weird, man. This whole situation is weird and upsetting to see.
Telling the truth. The fact is, with A.J. Brown taking these positions, whether A.J. Brown wants to admit it or not, the reality is
He's a bona fide scum.
a guy like Jalen Hurts, who is a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP, who is an absolute
I don't care. He's like Ron Baker. Von Baker. I don't care.
bona fide winner.
He
But
said, "Oh man, I get immature." But it's really funny how I keep saying that. He said it.
in the same breath,
Not scrub, but he said bonafide. That's his man. He needs to make a T-shirt called bonafide whatever.
doesn't translate to you being an elite passer on a consistent basis of the football, which is what the wide receiver wants from you, because you're determining his living in his
I'm a bona fide bunny chaser. I'm playing.
life. A.J. Brown is looking at that and he's going like this, yo, I don't believe. Listen, I got questions about this cat. He don't want to say it publicly, but if he had that kind of belief in the quarterback, we're not hearing or seeing any of the stuff that we've heard or
I think AJ Brown is on crack.
seen over the last 2 years, which is one of the things that the Philadelphia faithful knows.
Okay. I'll stop with the Stephen A. Smith jokes. I'll stop.
To keep a close eye. All right, A.J. Brown going now. We got Devontae. We got some other cats on this squad. What you going to do, Jalen Hurts? You got your paper. You won a championship. We appreciate you, but that was then. This is now. What's up? Because the man is gone. Now what we going to do? That is the question mark right there. You know he's going to be free.
Well, we don't know what the Eagles is going to do next is win the NFC East. I'm not going to say the NFC East is going to be easy. It's going to be tough, especially with the Giants and the Commanders. And yeah, not the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to fall off way too much, especially when he still had Dak Prescott midden around. But, yeah. Now it just puts extra motivation to Eagles to work and get better. Now the monkey's off their back. They don't got to worry about the drama. Unless somebody else be a drama queen, they need to go.
You know Vrabel going to make sure May gets him the football.
Yeah, Vrabel is going to be fucking Diana Routine. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to get the blowy. He is going to get, the reverse cowgirl. He's going to get all the missionary, all the sex positions. That's all. That's what he's going to get.
Know that kind of stuff is going to happen, and you know A.J. Brown got something to prove. Because he's a dog. He ain't playing.
Yeah, he a dog. He's going to go freaking doggy style. Freaking Mike Vrabel's going to go doggy style on old Diana. Daddy Diana, Daddy Diana, let me be.
He coming to play.
She like the boys in the band. They know when they come to town. She did the sushi when the curtains come down. She did the birthday doll, and then it happens. And then Daddy Diana.
What's going to do? That's the question mark. Because none of this would have happened if they were simpatico.
No doubt.
Hurts and A.J. Brown. I don't care what anybody says.
I would add this just to button this
Seriously,
up.
man. Where is the fire for the Mike Vrabel situation for Mississippi? Now, if it was a black athlete or a black coach, Stephen A. Smith will be talking talk on his YouTube channel or whatever. And Mike Vrabel, he don't barely want to talk about it. Like with not Joe Rogan. What's his name? Dana White. When Dana White slapped his wife, he barely said a word. But with Deshaun Watson and all these other athletes, when they get themselves into some legal troubles, he always want to talk about them or whatever. Freaking fraud.
So we're this close to pulling off a trade for A.J. Brown in March. They backed out at the end, picks, compensation. This has been rumored since February at the Combine that he was going to the Patriots, and there were 30 other teams, and no one else swooped in and said, wait, we'll up the offer. We'll do that. So this
Well,
was.
I mean, the Rams, they tried to get him. The Jaguars tried to get him. There was many teams that tried to get A.J. Brown. But, like, I guess it failed for them. I mean, the Rams, at least they got Jared Verse, I guess. The Jaguars, I don't know.
Very interesting trade, and it seemed like this was New England or L.A., but 30 other teams kind of watched.
I don't know, wish they
inside.
traded him to a different team, not the Patriots.
Then let's let this thing go.
Let's stay right there for a second, Peter.
To
Let's stay
trick
right
A.J. Brown.
there for a second. I'm not questioning the veracity of what you just reported. What I'm saying is it makes sense. Here's the reason why. Can we be honest and keep it a buck?
Love to.
Maybe it's that way with the Rams because they could afford to be that way because they knew they had a cat in Matthew Stafford that nobody was going to question his ability to throw the football. Maybe those other teams, you had cats like, we don't want that in our locker room. Why? Because you might not have a quarterback that could get him the ball to his liking, and A.J. Brown might speak up about it. I'm not saying that's advisable. Obviously, you got to keep stuff in-house and internal most of the time. I understand that. But when you out there on that football field, you run a route, you put your body on the line, your health on the line. You doing all of that. More importantly, you open. Even when you ain't open, sometimes you still open because you a man amongst boys and you could go get it. And it's not happening for you. And Sirianni's calling plays 1 minute, and another minute he's deferring to the offensive coordinator. And another minute they both deferring to Jalen Hurts, and another minute Jalen Hurts is deferring to them. All of this other stuff, that's a bunch of noise to a wide receiver. You ain't trying to hear that. Give me the damn ball. This is wide receivers we talking about. Am I right, Woody? These are wide receivers we talking about.
I need the ball! Give me the goddamn ball! I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, Terrell Owens.
Ain't trying to hear that. Ain't trying to hear all that drama. Get me the damn ball. That needs to be the storyline, not all this other stuff.
Like Terrell Owens and A.J. Brown.
Because this is a passing offense that ranked 23rd last year, so everybody who's left in Philly as A.J. Brown moves on is going to have to figure out the solution. Much better is New England's offense now that they have A.J. Brown in the fold.
I mean, you can make the case they're going to be one of the best offenses in the National Football League. And I just want to remind everyone who's the offensive coordinator in New England, Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is one of the preeminent offensive minds that this league has ever seen. And may I remind you, Josh McDaniels, in his time in the league, you know, first year when like stud receivers have come aboard under his stewardship, they've had career years where whether we're talking about Randy Moss with his first year in New England, he had 23 touchdowns, Devontae Adams, Brandon Marshall. Like, all of these guys had career years like their first year under Josh McDaniels because Josh McDaniels understands how to use these quote-unquote alpha wide receivers. He's going to feed A.J. Brown plenty. And when we talk about this New England offense, not only are we talking about A.J. Brown, but you had already touched upon it. You got Romeo Doubs. You got Mac Hollins. I mean, think about Pop Douglas, Kayshon Boutte. Like, this is a deep wide receiving core that the New England Patriots have. And you talk about a quarterback in Drake May who finished second in the MVP. So,
like I said, I do think the Patriots is going to fall off. There might be a slight fall off.
A wide receiver the caliber of A.J. Brown is a big effing deal for the New England Patriots. Okay? And so, yes, there's been a lot said about the demise of New England because of the schedule and people saying that New England was ahead of schedule. Well, when you make a move like this, New England is going to be squarely in the mix as far as the AFC is concerned.
Stephen A., why are you groaning?
He's always on some shit. He probably thinking about freaking like, and you thinking about some big booty Latina or something.
McDaniels, and you didn't like that.
Because D. Woody, he's so smooth. He's so smooth.
Smooth like the ocean under the sea. But it's so smooth. Give me your heart, make you real, baby. Forget about it.
No, Big Papi. He's so smooth.
He's not Big Papi. Big Papi is David Ortiz.
Cross, like he's so objective, like it's just.
Because
please. When it comes to the Patriots, no, you are not.
Or not David Ortiz, Dr. Umar, because they look alike.
All right, they're a good team. Let's see if it materializes. I do think that A.J. Brown is an upgrade at the wide receiver spot. I do think acquiring Romeo Doubs, Romeo Doubs. I do think that obviously acquiring him helps Sean Boutte. I got it. I understand. But you know what? I still need to see them to believe it, because the last 4 weeks of the season, Traeger, and I'll give it to you by saying this, outside of the 28 that they dropped on Houston, that was basically because C.J. Stroud was off when he got a lot of making up to do. What did the New England Patriots do in their 3 of the last 4 weeks? You scored 10 in the AFC Championship game, primarily due to weather. We get that part. We saw how you got blitzed in the Super Bowl, right? And then if you remember, they went up against the Chargers.
There was a crack in that damn weather game. It was the Chargers he's talking about. I don't know. White powder. It's worse than it was not just Cowboys, the White House.
Put up 16 points. I'm just looking at them, man, and I'm like, I'm not that enamored with them. Wild card playoff game, you only score 16 points. This offense, to write home about it the way that Woody is, I'm not there yet, but I get where he's coming.
They had the softest schedule in the league last year. They came from out of nowhere, and they ended up winning the AFC, and they did so with Bo Nix injured there in the AFC Championship game, and with C.J. Stroud not exactly bringing the A game for the offense for the Houston Texans. I take nothing away from what they did, but the second that Super Bowl ended, the question was, is that a one-and-done team, or is this team one that's going to be sustainable? Now, you have the young quarterback, you build around them. They spent record money in free agency last year. They had this roster. I look at this year's team. After that late November bye, they play the Chargers, they play the Bills, they play the Vikings, they play the Chiefs. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they are not going to be this surprise team. They go from being the hunters to the hunted. And I wouldn't say this was the smoothest, most drama-free offseason in New England, if you read my lips. I'm curious
Yeah,
to
we
see
know
how
what
the
you're talking about.
entire organization responds. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe they go and win 15 games. But guess what? Vegas has them winning 9.5.
Look at Stephen Smith. Look at Stephen A. Like, oh, don't talk about my daddy like that. Don't talk about daddy. Let him smash.
Exactly. That's the Super Bowl team.
But nah, to end this video, I wish AJ Brown the best of his endeavors. I hope he enjoys it in New England, man. Like I said, it's similar to like Terrell Owens' situation when he went to the Cowboys. Him going to basically a rival, and him making noise before leaving, and just like basically quitting or whatever. And it's pretty upsetting. It's like. I mean, I know it was gonna end. Don't get me wrong, like him and the Eagles, but like this, seriously, with all the rumors and all the BS. Well, I guess that's the beauty of NFL. Like, there's got to be off-season stories and off-season storylines. I guess that's football storytelling for you. I don't know. It is what it is. It's your boy, Main Event Primetime TV. I'm out. Peace.